This is a selection of Stein. Oh, hello. There is no end, though there is a start in space. It has own power, it ruins, and it goes through. Start also in the star, finite. Person who has wisdom can read the most. Okay. Hello there, everybody! So, Butter92, aka Nightmare, and welcome to Steins Gate Zero. Oh boy, I've been looking for an excuse to get back into the Steins Gate universe, and now we are finally throwing ourselves back into this sci-fi as fuck story. Now, first things first. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and give another wonderful shout out to the amazing artist, SkydivingQuagga, for making these super amazing, the little thumbnail that he made. I was gonna try to come up with some sort of, like, actually good joke. Oh, shit. Whoops. Sorry about that. But, yeah. SkydivingQuagga is the one responsible for the really good artwork for the thumbnail template, and if you guys want to go check him out, I highly recommend you do. There will be links in the description down below. Okay, so the only thing I know about this is supposedly this supposedly takes place where, for those of you who watched the anime or did the original novel for Steins Gate, this is supposedly the story of the Okabe who basically, I guess, gave in to despair and didn't try to say Maki. But, Kurisu, there we go, let's just go with that. But supposedly that's what this story focuses around. So, what I know what I need to do is I need to go ahead and try to make up as many save files as I can for every choice that pops up, because apparently, from what I was told, you need a guide to get the supposed true ending. Which, yeah, that makes sense. Ooh, this music actually sounds really, really good. Okay, guys, let's do this. Well. Oh, yeah. Remind me of this evil asshole. Oh, Jesus Christ! Am I gonna have to censor that? Oh God, that is significantly more blood than I remember. Whoa. 2010, 8, 21, 17, 56, 0, 4, 5. Whoa. The hatch opened. Bright light flooded my eyes. Where was I? My eyes narrowed. I could barely make out the summer's twilight sky. I didn't want to leave. I just wanted to disappear. But someone grabbed my arm and dragged me out. Oh! Shit, we actually have moving mouths! Hey, Mayuri. I didn't have the energy to respond to my own nickname. I fell to the ground and wrapped my arms around myself. Mayuri ran to me and looked down, her face worried. But her kindness felt like nothing but a nuisance. Don't talk to me. Just leave me alone. Are these the original voice actors? I recognize Mayuri. It's been a while since I've watched the show, but I swear, I think, are these the same voice actors? Daru ran to the door that led back inside the building. Not physically, but mentally and emotionally, I am. Stop it. Just get away from me. Leave me alone. Couldn't save her. In fact, I killed her myself. Right here. 3 weeks ago. I killed her. A murderer.
無駄だったんだ。何をやっても無駄だ。全部決まってしまっていることなんだよ。同じだ。真由里の時と同じなんだ。どれだけもがいたって結果は同じになる。
No matter how many times I try, it will all converge back to the same result. The process doesn't matter. Whether you time travel or time leap, you can't go back and change the results of the past. I thought I understood that cruel truth. But now, I was forced to realize it again, and in the worst possible way.
無駄だよ。無駄なんだ。何もかも無駄なんだよ。俺はやっぱりクリスを助けられないんだ。分かってた。分かってたんだ。こうなるって予想してたんだ。
We're off to a great start, aren't we?
もう疲れた。ずっと休んでないんだ。だからもういいよ。
オカリン、一体何が。
俺が殺した。殺してしまった。バカみたいだ。全部俺のせいだ。
マキセ・クリスをさ、刺し殺しちゃったんだ。殺した？嘘、そんな。でも安心して、まだもう一回分タイムトラベルはできる。
ほっといてくれ。俺のことなんか何度やったって結果は同じだ。
何言ってんの？諦めるつもり？オカリンおじさんの肩には何十億っていう人の命がかかってるんだよ。たった一回の失敗が何だって言うんだ。
クリスはどうやったって助けられない。世界線の収束には逆らえない。
I want to test something. Whoa! Holy crap, that actually looks cool! Oh, wow! Damn! Okay. That's the reality of this world. I learned that a long time ago.
こうなったら ビンタしてでも気合い入れ直して。ダメだよ、無理強いするのは良くないよ。こんなボロボロになってるオカリン見てられないもん。でもさ、このままじゃ未来を変えられない。どうして未来のことをオカリン一人に押し付けるの？そんなの重すぎるよ。オカリンおじさんには世界の観測者としての能力があるからだよ。オカリンが望んだわけじゃないのに。それにもう一度やったってまたオカリンが傷つくだけだって思うな。未来のことを人一人で変えようなんてきっと無理なんだよ。だからそのためのシュタインズゲートで。
The name of the game?
気持ちはわかるよ。でもさ、私も未来をかけてここまで来てるんだよね。どっちにしろ2036年には戻れないんだ。そう簡単に諦めるつもりはないから。オカリンおじさん、一つだけ忠告しとく。このタイムマシンに残されてる燃料は有限なの。さっきは往復2回分しか残ってないって言ったけど、実はまだそれなりに余裕はある。それでも移動できる時間はおよそ344日分。片道のタイムトラベルだとしても今から1年と経たないうちに7月28日には届かなくなる。覚えといて。その日になったらさ、私はたとえ一人でも飛ぶよ。
Someone was saying something to me. I couldn't understand the words. Didn't want to listen to anything. I just wanted to sleep. Just let this all end. Just let me go.
オカリン、オカリン、ねえ、オカリン、もう頑張らなくてもいいからね。泣いてもいいんだよ、オカリン。マユシーはそばにいるからね、オカリン。
I don't know if my Yuri's words were the reason why, but the tears started to flow. I decided to forget everything. Oh. Ever since that day, I stopped going to the future gadget lab. Absolute zero. Well, that music was... Oh, it quick saved me. Well, that music is now uplifting. Thank you. That's nice. That's nice. Tuesday, November 23rd. UPX, the new symbol of Akihabara, was located right in front of the station. In the hall on the 4th floor, preparations had been going on all morning for the ATF Akihabara Techno Forum convention. Universities and labs from both inside and outside the country would work together to put on special seminars and symposiums at irregular intervals. My school, Tokyo Denki University was participating as part of its industry collaboration efforts. Students were required to attend these seminars and submit reports to their instructors. You know what? I think just to go ahead, I'm going to go ahead and read some of these tips here. Whoa, what the hell? Okay. Tokyo Denki University. First founded as the Denki School in 1907, in 1949 it became a college in Kanda, Tokyo. Denki University trains engineers and scientists to promote the healthy development of scientific technology. It was founded around the principle of practical study above all else, and its educational and research motto is, "Technology is people." Because of the school's location, it was deeply involved in the development of Akihabara. Fictional A lab in name only. It's actually a group of students who make strange inventions. Its founder, Okabe Rintaro, described it as a place where he can further his ambitions to overthrow the ruling structure of the world. To get there, head down Center Street from Akihabara Station, then when you get to the Sueiho Cho intersection, take a left at the Kurumaibashi Street. Then head into the alleyway just in front of the next light and you'll find an old multi-purpose building called the Ubuyama Building. It's on the second floor. World line. This term refers to an infinite number of possible worlds. However, these worlds do not exist in parallel. Only one exists at a given time. Everything that occurs along a world line from the past to the future has been predetermined. Thus, no matter how much you change the past along a single world line, the result will converge to the same outcome. Otherwise, they wouldn't get credit for their related classes. In addition, I was supposed to help one of the lecturers, Associate Professor Izaki. I had just gotten a list from the reception desk at the shared lobby. I was waiting to check off the names of students who were coming to the lectures. There was still some time before the seminar started, so the lobby was mostly empty. None of the students on the list were here yet. I was bored, but I couldn't do anything but wait. The old me never could have imagined doing anything like this, but impressing Izaki was part of my new goal in life. Victor Chondria University. That was my new goal. Or is it Victor Chondria? Izaki did a lot of joint research projects with them and knew a lot of people there. The best first step to getting there my brain could come up with was being his assistant. Also, this convention was holding another seminar by Victor Chondria University after the one held this summer. Of course, that interested me too. Summer. An image of her as she was then flashed through my mind. I was trying to get to Victor Chondria so that I could learn about the work that Makise Kurisu had been doing. I wanted to try to do it myself. Of course, I wasn't a genius like Kurisu. I knew there was no way I'd ever be able to do exactly what she did. But if I could do even 10% of it... Honestly, I'm amazed that I've recovered so well. I thought that to myself and chuckled, just as a voice called to me from across the lobby. Hmm? I? Nice hair. I looked up and saw a young girl approaching me from the elevator hall. She was short and petite. Everything about her was small. I could kind of make out a few of the curves that don't appear until after puberty, so at least she wasn't in elementary school, but... Really, Okabe? Maybe middle school? For someone with such a cute face, she clearly didn't care about her appearance. Her hair wasn't styled and it poured down her back. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Even I could tell her clothes weren't very fashionable. Hey, that's just up to, that's just an opinion.
ごめんなさい。スタッフルームってどこかしら？
ここは ATF のセミナー会場だけど。
Clearly not a place where a middle school girl belonged. She'd probably just come to the wrong place.
そんなの分かっているわ。何度同じ話を繰り返せば気が済むの？
いや、今初めて行ったんだけど。
Fair point.
私にとってはあなたで4回目よ。この場所に来てからね。
Okay. Oh. Irritated, she pulled a card out of her jacket. It was one of the IDs given out to invited guests. Her name and the name of her workplace were written on the front. Huh? Akihabara Technoforum, Victor Chondria University, Brain Science Institute, Maho Hyoja. Hiajo. Maho Hiajo. Maho Hiajo. Victor Condrey University, USA. Brain Science Institute.
ビクトル・コンドリア大学
Oh,
脳科学研究所
let us take a look at that. The field of study that researches animal brains, also called neuroscience. It investigates the brain from a number of perspectives, including biology, genetics, medicine, psychology, and electrical engineering. Oh, of course. I looked at the card and then at her, and back at the card. Then I looked at her again. I finally realized.
ああ、そういうことか。そのカード、どこに落ちてたんだ？拾ってくれたん。
Oh god damn it, Okabe.
私も4回目よ。
God. She sighed and showed me another card. This one was a photo ID from Victor Condrey University.
え？
It was the same ID I'd seen Kurisu holding before on another world line. The photo on the card, yeah, that was definitely her.
ヒアジョウマホって読むの。私の名前、ヒアジョウマホ。漢字でもローマ字でも誰も読めた試しがないから、先に言っとくわ。
Yajo Maho?
ビクトル・コンドリア大学の中学生？
寝ぼけるなら夜にして。大学に中学生がいるわけないでしょ。
I mean, to be fair, you're not wrong.
それもそうだな。じゃあ飛び級か。
Unlike in Japan, it wasn't uncommon for Americans to skip grades. Kurisu had made it to university at age 17. But still, a girl this young working in a university lab?
一つ確認していいかしら。
What's up?
おう。
あなた今、少なからず衝撃を受けてるわよね。
No? I don't think so.
こんな小さい子が信じられないかしら。
Plot twist, you're not really a child. I don't know.
それとも、この年齢ですごいの方。
She got me.
ここをよく見なさい。
The girl, Yajo Maho, pointed to the part of her ID with her slender fingers. She was born in 1989 and it was 2010, so... You're 21?
21歳。
Huh. Damn!
つまり立派な成人女性よ。中学生じゃないのよ。もちろん小学生でも幼稚園児でも。
And then she puffed out her chest. There wasn't much to see, but I can imagine her saying, "They look bigger when I'm not wearing clothes. They're huge! Why are you thinking this?" Nah, I can kind of relate. I get mistaken for my age.
何かしら
yeah.
その顔は。
あ、いや、悪かった。謝る。
I couldn't believe it. She was older than me. Really? Oh my god. Okay. Oh god. If Dara was here, he'd be dancing around screaming, "Legal lolly for the win!"
まあいいわ。世界中どこへ行っても同じ目に遭ってるから。
Oh my god. Net slang used to express excitement about a positive event or experience, abbreviated. Oh! So that's what FTW stands for. I never knew that. Legal lolly refers to a character in anime or manga who appears to be no older than an elementary schooler but is in fact over the legal age of 21. Okay, so you're kind of like Naui in Fire Emblem. Or Tiki, actually. No, wait, Naui.
そうだろうな。
何か言った？
あ、いや、別に。
Still, the Brain Science Institute. That's where Kurisu worked. Which means this kid, this person, might know a lot about Kurisu. I held back the impulse to start badgering her with questions. I looked at the pamphlet with the seminar schedules. Victor Condria's lecture was the last one for the day, and was clearly intended to be the biggest. Was this Hyajamaho's girl? Was this Hyajamaho girl going to give a lecture? Just like Kurisu had done at the summer convention. No, wait, that's wrong. That never happened. Makise Kurisu never gave any lectures over the summer. That happened in the Alpha world line. In the world line I inhabited now, before the summer convention, she'd already...
君が今日登壇を？
いいえ、私は助手として来たの。あと通訳も兼ねてね。
Oh! Yajamaho. I looked at the pamphlet again and saw that the lecturer was a man named Alexis Leskinen. Alexis Leskinen. A professor at Victor Condria University and the chief researcher of the Brain Science Institute.
テーマは人工知能革命か。面白そうだな。
Artificial Intelligence Revolution.
時間があったらぜひ聞いてみてほしいわね。
Sure!
そうするよ。あ、スタッフルームだったよな。
I led Maho over to the elevator hall and showed her where the staff room was.
ありがとう。
I had no reason to hang around her any further. I said goodbye and was just about to turn around. Just then, the elevator opened. A woman emerged. The instant I saw her face, every hair on my body stood on end. What? Who is it? Moeka! Hey! You're looking good. Kiryu, Moeka. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. Calm down. This is the Beta World line. Mayuri is alive. Moeka's not going to kill her. Hey, Moeka! Our eyes met. The eyes on the other side of her glasses were as dead as ever, and it was impossible to tell what she was thinking. I frantically averted my gaze before she realized something was wrong. She tilted her head for a second, but quickly lost interest in me and turned toward Maho.
ああ、雑誌社の方でしたよね。お約束通り主催を。
Even in this world line, Moeka still only spoke in faint whispers.
レスキネン教授はまだなんです。少しお待たせしてしまいますけど。はい。それまで私でよければシステムの概要でも。お願いします。
The two of them disappeared into the staff room. As I watched them leave, I took a deep breath. I tried to calm down, but it wasn't working.
桐生萌か。もしかしてまたお前なのか。
I hope not. It was a terrible feeling, like a cold finger tracing the wounds in my heart. Oh. Terrorist bomb threat suspends Yamanote Sobu Keihin Tohoku lines. That night, when the terrorist threat shut down all the trains in Akihabara, that awful night, I just knew something was going to happen.
ここでもまたお前が。
Let's hope not. Whoa. Or was I just imagining things? You just a magazine reporter now instead of a CERN rounder? Alright. Okay. Rounder. Fictional. An unofficial group that... I like how they actually have to specify that these are fictional. An unofficial group that works for CERN. It is, in theory, an independent group that does technology research. Rounders, deployed all over the world, and their exact numbers are unknown. Their real objective is to recover the IBM 5100s, the only machines capable of hacking CERN's hidden database, as well as crushing any attempts at time machine research around the world and taking the scientists back to work for CERN. CERN. Fictional. The European Laboratory for Nuclear Research. CERN, however, is not an acronym for this group. It comes from the French Société Européenne de Recherche Nucléaire, European Society for Nuclear Research. Oh, by the way, I apologize for anybody who actually speaks French, and you just basically cringed at possibly the worst pronunciation possible. The lab consists of the world's largest particle accelerator on the outskirts of Geneva, Switzerland. It crosses the border between France and Switzerland, and there is a bank, library, post office, and living quarters. Let's see. There we go. And living quarters located on the grounds. Research teams from all over the world, but particularly the 19 countries of Europe, gather here to perform experiments in elementary particle physics. Several thousand people work at CERN. No. Even if Moeka was a rounder, we had nothing to do with CERN anymore. CERN wouldn't be watching us. So can we bond with her, please? I took another deep breath, grabbed some of the anxiety meds in my pocket, and swallowed them down with some mineral water I'd bought ahead of... Wow. You've actually got to take anxiety meds? Damn, Okabe. It would take 15 minutes for them to kick in. Those 15 minutes were always pretty rough. I laughed at myself a little and sat down on one of the reception desk's chairs. Oh, quick save. What the hell's that? The table was filled with leaflets, pamphlets, and other things for the attendees. What the hell? Whoa! Okay. Okay, are things going okay with Mr. Seminar? Yeah. Oh, wow. Texting is a thing? Huh. Cool. Oh. Oh, okay. I see, that's great. I can't wait to see what kind of seminar it'll be. She wishes she could have seen it too. It may be a little too hard for you to follow. You're right. Okay, I don't want to get in your way. Bye. Huh. There's actually texting in this? How that? Okay. That is bizarrely cool. My eyes wandered to one of the pamphlets. Nakabachi Theory and the Genealogy of Pseudoscience. This pamphlet was for Professor Izaki's seminar. Nakabachi Theory. The paper he'd announced in Russia. That paper held the key to creating a real time machine. On that day, July 28th, Nakabachi had stolen the paper from Kurisu, his own daughter, and left with it. I knew that. Only Nakabachi and I knew that. I flipped through the pamphlet. It was a brief introduction to the many forms of pseudoscience and fake scientific discoveries that had emerged since the start of the 20th century. On its own, it did make for interesting reading. And at the end of the pamphlet, Nakabachi Theory was introduced as nothing more than another entry in that long list of fakes. Damn. So Dr. Nakabachi's time machine theory had been completely ignored by the academic world. All the glory, fame, and power he'd wanted so badly that he was willing to get rid of his own daughter. He didn't get any of it. Good! That asshole doesn't deserve any of it! That freaking cheesy little fucking asshead. I was gonna say I kind of ran out of things to say, but I just fuck that guy. And I'd heard rumors that after the announcement, he'd been in prison in a Russian lab. To make it even funnier, he thought he was getting VIP treatment. For a short time, there were essays and interviews in bogus academic journals. Even there, it was obvious it had all gone to his head. Amen on that! The ironic thing was that Nakabachi theory was completely correct and completely revolutionary. Oh, hello. The Russian government was worried about it leaking, and the SVR was doing everything it could to keep it under wraps. SVR. The Service of the External Reconnaissance of the Russian Federation, aka SVR. Sever. Russia's External Intelligence Agency. Its HQ is in Yasinovo in southern Moscow. After the old Soviet Committee for State Security, KGB, was disbanded, the new SVR was modeled after the KGB's first directorate. There are other intelligence agencies in Russia as well, such as the Main Intelligence Directorate, GRU, and the Federal Security Service, FSB. Each of them has their own territory and specialization. But under the surface, there was a full-scale information war beginning over the paper. Well, I imagine. Oh, the time traveler from 2036, John Titor, had told me so, which meant it had to be true. Was World War III really going to happen? There was no point in thinking about it. Amidaze. Just a little more before the drugs kicked in. I closed my eyes. Several hours later, the convention was going well. After Professor Izaki's seminar, most of the students from my university went home. But I killed some time and came back. I wanted to hear the Victor Condria lecture. Yeah, I'm kind of curious who this, whoever the hell it is. Whoever this is. It doesn't matter. I headed to the hall with plenty of time to spare and saw Hyaja Maho coming from the staff room. Whoa! Hi there! Wait a minute. Why do I have a feeling I've seen this face? Oh, the Discord, of course. She was with a very tall foreigner. Was that Alexis Liskinen? I think I see this, like, reaction little emojis. Maybe I'm just confusing him with somebody else. No, wait, I think we actually... No. Yeah, maybe I'm confusing this guy with somebody else. It didn't seem like an American name, but maybe he was an immigrant like Kurisu, or at least descended from one. So... Alexis Liskinen. Well... I can gander a guess at maybe being German or Russian, maybe? I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but the looks on their faces were so serious that I couldn't help but listen. Since they were both speaking in English, I could barely make out any of it, but I can tell from their voices that it wasn't a pleasant chat. Wait, did I just hear the word makise? I hated the fact that I couldn't speak English. If I'd known this was going to happen, I would have gone to an English school. The two of them walked into the waiting room for lecturers. It was located right next to the UPX theater. I put together the few fragments I was able to understand. Fire at Kurisu's house. Mrs. Makise is all right. Robbery. The police called off the investigation. Why was the FBI there? It doesn't make sense. I think that's what they were saying. Kurisu's house? Do they mean where she lived in America? Her mother should still live in America. Is that where the fire was? And then words like robbery and the investigation was called off. I really wanted to know more. I stood there and worried until it was time for the lecture to begin. With nothing else to do, I went inside the theater. Ooh. I could tell earlier by looking at the size of the crowds going inside, but it was a very high-energy crowd. The atmosphere was clearly different than Izaki's seminar, which was mostly students there for credit. The place was nearly full with a crowd of scientists and people who wanted to learn about cutting-edge technology. Victor Condria's researchers had published a slate of papers in Science recently, and had gotten a lot of media attention. Maybe that was why. Were there any open seats? I found a single open seat at the edge, but when I looked at who was sitting next to it, I moaned. Hey! Hey, Moeka! You again? Kiryu Moeka was there. She was speaking to no one, just typing endlessly into her phone. I'd once named her Shining Finger because of her incredible typing speed, and she was as fast as ever. Who was she talking to? I didn't even want to imagine. I quickly turned away and looked for another seat. Dr. Leskinen reached the podium almost the exact instant I sat down. Oh, why can't we go sit with her? What the hell? There was a huge wave of applause. But when they saw the tiny little girl coming up next to him, the applause faded into confused murmurs. Maho must have expected this. Her expression didn't change in the slightest as she stood next to the professor. Oh wow, there is a dramatic... Oh, okay, I can actually see the height difference now. In fact, when she took the microphone from the professor and looked around the theater, she looked like she belonged there.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh! First, Dr. Leskinen began to speak in English. When he made eye contact with Maho, she began to interpret.
Thank you for attending.
皆さん、本日は私のセミナーに集まってくださって感謝します。
I am Alexis Leskinen
ビクトル・コンドリア大学脳科学研究所のアレクシス・レスキネンです。専門は脳信号処理システムおよび人工知能理論になります。
I am hearing two voices!
そして私は助手の比谷城真帆です。同じく脳科学研究所で教授の指導に沿って研究をしています。よろしく。
The audience started murmuring again. That was the same way I responded when I met her. Well, that'll happen, yeah.
では早速ですが、私たちの最先端研究の一端をご紹介します。テーマは人工知能革命としましたが、これからデモンストレーションするシステムはおそらく皆さんの想像を超えたものではないかと思っています。
Often shortened to AI, there have been many different definitions for this word since its creation. For example, some use it to refer to control systems with self-directed learning capability, while others use it to refer to programs whose thought routines mirror a human's. The Federal Bureau of Investigation, an American police organization, is attached to the Department of Justice and handles crimes that occur on American soil. There are approximately 30,000 people who work for the FBI. When crimes take place involving a wide area in multiple states, the FBI investigates under federal law. Well, nowadays, John Titor. In November 2000, a man appeared on an American message board claiming to be a time traveler from the year 2036. This became an internet phenomenon that inspired a storm of questions and debate. The man called himself John Titor and published partial pictures of the manual for his time machine, as well as an explanation for how it operated. He also made clear what would happen in the near future, how interfering with the timeline worked, the principles behind the multiverse and parallel worlds, as well as timelines and world lines. And then, 4 months after his appearance, he left a final message saying that he'd completed his mission and would be returning to his world. Then he vanished, for good. Dr. Leskinen stood in front of the laptop that had been placed on the podium and started to type.
このパソコンですが、研究所のスーパーコンピューターの一つと接続されています。あ、まだプロジェクターには映さないで。
One of the staffers was about to display the laptop's screen on the front projector. Some kind of important program must have been booting up, because Hiaja Maho stopped them.
すみません、まだ開発途中なんです。非常に美的センスのないプログラムが画面いっぱいに溢れ返っています。こんなチープなプログラムを見られるのは恥ずかしい。裸を見られるよりもね。この中にエンジニアの方がいるなら理解していただけますよね。
Some of the audience got the professor's joke and laughed.
Anyway, while this finishes
起
reading,
動するまでの
I'll
間
give you a quick
この
overview
シス
of
テ
our
ム
system.
全体の概略を説明しましょう。
There was another projector in the center of the stage. A diagram appeared on its screen. And at the top of the diagram was a Japanese translation for the general audience. An analysis. Oh. An analysis of neural pulse signals relating to memories stored in the temporal lobe. Okay. An electrical signal that travels through a human's nerve cell. It's used to quickly spread information between cells. Temporal cortex. A part of the cerebrum located at the side of the brain. It controls memory, judgment, emotional restraint, hearing, and more. It's also used for accessing the hippocampus, which is on the edge of the cerebrum. I knew that title well. In fact, I was sure I could never forget it. It was the title of an essay written by a 17-year-old genetician published in Science. She had completely analyzed the nerve impulse patterns that govern human memory and used that to digitize the memories themselves into data. And she had used that to invent the time leap machine right in front of my eyes. Though, none of that had actually happened anymore.
We've actually been featured in a
サ
few
イエンス
journals
誌に
recently,
掲載されたので
so some of you
ご存知
may
の方も
already
い
be
るでしょう。
familiar with the project. It was proposed by a very talented
これは
Japanese member of our team.
私たちのチームにいた天才的な日本人研究者によって提唱され完成されたものです。
Damn.
Human memories are stored in
人
the
間の記
cerebral
憶は
cortex,
大
particularly
脳
in
皮
the
質
temporal lobe,
とりわ
a
け
little like fresh
側
memory.
頭葉に記録されます。いわゆるフラッシュメモリみたいなもの。
I hope you guys don't mind. if you guys do mind, I will stop, okay? The gray-colored external layer of the human brain. It is only a few millimeters thick, but consists of over 10 billion neurons and countless layers. The central core governing sensation, movement, and mental activity. Different parts handle different functions.
The part of the temporal lobe
そのメモリに記憶を書き
Oh
込んだ
god.
り読み出したりするのが側頭葉にある海馬傍回という部位になります。
Okay. So many tips. Wait a minute. 74, Jesus. The hippocampal gyrus is found on the outside edge of the hippocampus. It is part of the brain that controls memories and spatial recognition. It is responsible for spatial processing, as well as the sensation of being familiar with a situation or place. It plays an important role in memory encoding and retrieval. Dr. Liskinen pointed to the diagrams of the brain and hippocampus on the screen.
The brain works by transmitting
脳は
electrical
Oh my
ニュ
god!
ーロンと呼ばれる細胞の間を電気信号が伝わっていくことで働いています。
Also referred to as nerve cells. Cells specialized for information processing. Electrical pulses flow through these cells to share various types of information, making them a form of transmission mechanism.
What we call memories are
記
just
憶というのも
electrical signals
実
and
は
they're
こういっ
controlled
た
by
電
the
気信
electrical
号の
charge.
伝わりの一つなのです。その働きを制御しているのが海馬傍回と言ってもいいでしょう。
In other words,
つまり
electrical signals passing
電
through
気
the
信号が
cerebral
海馬
gyrus
傍
is
回を
what
出
creates
入りする
memories.
ことで記憶は作られていくんですね。
That was a foundation for
そこで
Chris Marquis.
マキセ・クリスはこの論文を書いた日本人研究者です。
And excuse me, I mean,
あの
Ms. Makise, one of our
マキセ
research
研
assistants.
究員は考えました。
You see here, electrical signals, signal patterns. The
海馬
cerebral
傍
cortex.
回を通る電気信号が電気信号のパターンと大脳皮質の
Uh-oh. Mao started to have trouble with her interpreting. She was getting confused. No matter how good you were with languages, interpreting for a long period of time had to be difficult. I'd once read an article on the internet that said even a professional can't do it for more than 20 minutes. International conferences and live broadcasts from overseas were actually handled by a team of people switching off. Maybe. Was she having trouble because Kurisu's name came up? Dr. Liskinen saw she was having trouble and cut himself off.
すみません。 マキセ研究員は海馬妨害を出入りする電気信号のパターンに着目しました。そのパターンが大脳皮質のどの記憶と対応しているのか解析を行って完全なデータを得たのです。これによって記憶という曖昧でアナログなものを電気信号のパターンの組み合わせというデジタルなものに変換する基礎理論が確立されたのです。これがサイエンス誌に掲載された彼女の論文です。そして現在、私たちのチームはその理論をもとに人間の記憶をデジタルデータとして取得するシステムを開発しています。
A wave of whispers swept across the theater.
それはすなわち人間の記憶をコンピューターに保存し、それを活用するシステムということになります。
Damn. The whispers turned into a low roar. I see. So even after her death, Risu's research was being carried on. Of course, maybe it was natural that it would be. That was the basic theory for time leaping, which I had proved myself, even if I could never prove it to anyone else in the Alpha world line. My memories had been turned into data and stored on a computer. There was no doubt about that. And what Dr. Leskinen was talking about right now was the basic technology required for that process.
現在、私たちが行っているプロジェクトは主に2つです。1つは医療分野への応用です。
So theoretically, if this actually works, let's say, I don't know. No, that probably wouldn't work. I was gonna suggest what if somebody is having like brain. No, damn it, never mind. I should probably shut up right now. The slide on the projector changed. Oh, data transfer, establishing connection, transferring, writing backup. Data transfer, establishing connection, transferring, implementing, overwriting.
こちらは精神生理学研究所と共同で行っているプロジェクトです。コンピューターに保存した記憶データを海馬妨害を通して再び元の脳に書き戻すというもので、
Incredible!
Someone who looked like a grad student in the front row shouted. Dr. Leskinen didn't seem particularly put off by the interruption. Maho continued her interpretation.
信じがたいですか。その気持ちは理解できます。私も皆さんの立場であればそう言ったでしょう。しかし、この研究に私たちは手応えを感じています。これが実用化できればどんなに素晴らしいことでしょう。例えば、老化による記憶障害、あとはアルツハイマーなど、そうしたものへの対処療法が期待できます。
Yeah, this could theoretically help people with Alzheimer's. Okay. Symptomatic therapy. Treatment intended not to cure the cause of a disease, but to alleviate its symptoms and relieve pain. Painkillers and fever reducers are examples of symptomatic therapy.
患者の記憶をデータとして自動的にバックアップしていくのです。記憶が失われたとしても、その都度 PC にアクセスし、脳内にデータを再インストールすることが可能です。それによって忘却の進行を食い止められるのではないか、私たちはそう考えています。最終的には海馬妨害から PC 内の記憶データに常時アクセスできるようになるでしょう。そうすれば脳機能が失われた状態、例えば脳が激しく損傷したり萎縮してしまった場合などですが、
You mean like brain dead?
The system would essentially
そのような状態でも
whatever part of the
変わら
brain
ず
was
脳
fine.
機能を維持できます。
Think of it like an
あた
external
かも
hard drive.
外部ストレージと同じように。
A data storage unit that can be detached from a computer or cell phone, or other electronic device. Some examples include hard drives and flash memory. A strange feeling gripped the hall. Part of it was shock and the feeling that they were witnessing the announcement of an incredible technology. Part of it was skepticism that a system like this could ever actually work. Part of it was revulsion at the idea of playing around with a human brain like that. An excitement, born of all these things, passed from one member of the crowd to another. Dr. Liskinen raised his hand to encourage questioners.
I'm seeing some of you have questions.
どうやら2つ目のプロジェクトをお話しする前に質問を受け付けないといけないようですね。
I'll answer as many as I can. Go
で
ahead.
きる範囲でお答えします。どうぞ。
Many hands were raised. I could tell that there was a wide age range from people interested. Both young and old were raising their hands. Dr. Liskinen pointed to a questioner. This was the first question. Sampling would be required when digitalizing analog memories. Does that mean any information would be lost? Sampling? The act of taking data at regular intervals. Oh, okay. The professor nodded as he listened to the question in Japanese and began to respond in English when the speaker finished. Maybe he was able to understand Japanese, if not speak it.
Let me reflect
そ
that.
の質問を言い換えると、
You're talking about attempting to
オーケストラの生演奏を WAV のデータに保存する際、生演奏のすべてを完璧に記録することはできないと。
That's certainly a concern.
確かにその懸念はあります。現在の研究で最も困難な問題の一つです。脳内のネットワークが神経伝達物質のオンオフだけで、つまり二進数的にデータのやり取りをしているのであれば簡単な問題でした。それはデジタルデータと同じことだからです。しかし実際には伝達物質や電気信号は脳内でアナログ的に変化することが分かっています。この問題に関しては今のところより高いサンプリングレートでデータをサンプルする方法しか手段を持っていません。音楽の話で言えば 44.1kHz よりも 48kHz、 48kHz よりも 96kHz でサンプリングするといった具合です。
Oh.
それによってデジタルでありながらアナログデータに近い情報を得ようとしています。
Little by little, the mood in the room was turning to disappointment. People were beginning to wonder if this was just a pretty theory that wouldn't work in reality. More questions came. All of the questioners were skeptical of the professor's theory, and many of them seemed to be outright challenging him. I started to get upset. This was Dr. Liskinen's research, but it was also Kurisu's. I knew better than anyone that it worked, and the sight of so many people refusing to give it a chance infuriated me. Were these people really scientists? I tried to keep myself under control and looked back towards the podium. Was she mad? She certainly looked disappointed. Dr. Liskinen was very polite with the rude questioners, acknowledging the problems with the theory. She was very different. Her anger was starting to seep into her interpreting, too. I felt a kind of kinship with her. The question and answer session continued.
デジタルデータを脳に書き戻すなんて絶対に不可能だ。正気の沙汰ではない。
You're insane.
サイエンス誌に掲載されたあの論文も読みましたが、にわかには信じられない。
Well, you're not much of a scientist if you can't even back up the damn... If you can't even bother to try it out, you can't really call yourself a damn scientist, can you?
ましてや筆頭著者が若干17歳の女性だったとあっては
Okay, now that's just sexist. That was the one thing I couldn't ignore.
あなたね。
Oh, hell yeah!
あ
The two people on the stage and the entire audience all turned toward me at once.
やってみもしないで何がわかるって言うんだ。最初は無理だと思われてた技術なんてこの世にいくらでもあるじゃないか。でもそれを克服した研究者がいたからこそ今があるんだろう。ただ批判するだけじゃ何も生まれない。
The whole theater went silent, but I didn't regret standing up.
あなた。
On the stage, Hyajo Maho was staring at me in shock. As for Dr. Leskinen... Oh, I saw a flash of white teeth as our eyes met.
Awesome. He's really something.
Huh. He started to applaud. Huh? Why was he applauding? That just makes things embarrassing.
素晴らしい。彼はなかなか大したやつだ。ですって。
Mao translated the professor's words for me to hear.
Nonetheless, a scientist must always remain composed.
科学者たるもの常に冷静でなければいけない。
The only time when it is
大声
possible
で
to
怒鳴って
shout
いい
is
のは
when your
実験
experiment
が
is a
成功
success
した
and you
時
say,
の
"We did it,"
We did it.
and that should be enough.
それだけで十分。だそうですよ。
Huh.
すみません。
I lowered my head and sat down. I thought I was calm, but I guess I let my emotions get away from me. I hadn't grown up at all in the past 6 months. If Kurisu was here, she'd make fun of me again. I could feel the rest of the audience staring at me coldly. Hurt. If I could have left, I would have wanted to. But I was too interested in hearing the rest of Dr. Leskinen's talk to move.
And anyway, moving on.
それでは皆さん、そろそろ次に。
Oh, first, a round of
で
applause,
も、
please, for
そ
our
の
great
前
friend.
に勇敢な彼に拍手をお願いします。
Oh no, please no.
Men like him are
彼のような挑戦者こそが
inept
科学を進歩させ、
remarkable cell race.
あっと驚くような理論を作り上げるのです。
He may even become the third
彼なら
Einstein.
きっと第3のアインシュタインになれるかもしれませんね。
Who wants to read up on Einstein? Albert Einstein, 1879 to 1955. A German Jew known as the father of modern physics. He developed many important theories, including the theory of general relativity and theory of special relativity. Winner of the 1921 Nobel Prize in Physics. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to turn into Zero there for a second.
The second Einstein, of course,
ちなみに
demised slightly
第
Russian
2のアイン
assistant
シュタインはここにいるちょっと小うるさい私の助手。
Ah!
変なこと言うのはやめてください、教授。
The audience chuckled. Sheesh.
さて、ここで私はしばらく通訳をお休みさせていただきます。これから私よりも優秀な通訳が登場します。これが私たちのチームが今最も力を入れている2つ目のプロジェクト。
Time travel!
アマデウスシステムです。
The Amadeus system? When she finished speaking, Maho walked to the back of the stage. As Dr. Leskinen signaled, the PC screen was displayed on the projector. And then I heard a voice.
皆さん、初めてお目にかかります。
The murmuring got louder than before, but it felt more uncertain than surprised. On the screen, I could see a detailed 3D model of Maho, the girl who had just been interpreting.
ちなみにこれは映画などで有名なドリンクワークススタジオに作成してもらったモデルです。
I see what you did there. An American CG movie production company. I see what you did there. Hyajo Maho chimed in from the back of the stage.
声については私のボイスサンプルをデータベースにして日本の山名が作ってくれました。
Yamana, fictional, an instrument maker that was founded in the 19th century. In the 2000s, they began to develop and sell artificial voice software in DDM, desktop music software for PCs. So, is that the new Vocaloid? This was CG? It sure looked real to me. The professor said something into the laptop's microphone. And then the 3D model of Hyajo Maho on the screen opened its mouth.
私はヒヤジョウマホです。正確に言うなら78時間22分前のヒヤジョウマホから派生した存在ということになります。
If you listened carefully, you might be able to hear something slightly off. But it sounded far more human than any artificial voice I'd ever heard.
先ほどから皆さんの質問を聞かせていただいていました。教授はどうして私を早く紹介しないのかととてももどかしく思っていましたよ。以前から感じていましたが、どうも教授は人が悪いようですね。まったくだわ。
The Hyajo Maho on the screen spoke with a slightly irritated expression, and the Hyajo Maho by the wall nodded in agreement. Dr. Liskinen simply smiled. What's going on here? What part of this was their biggest project? Is that an artificial intelligence program? The rest of the audience didn't seem to have any more of a clue than I did.
皆さんの多くは疑問に思っています。人間の記憶をデータとして取り出したり、それを保存したり、さらにはそのデータを活用したり。
Oh, Amadeus Maho.
そんなことが本当に可能なのかと。それでは私は一体何でしょうか。私は78時間23分前のヒヤジョウマホの脳内から取り出された記憶を持ち、そのデータをベースにして動いているのです。
What did you just say? The professor said something else in rapid English and asked the Maho on the screen to translate it. But she, if she was the right word, hesitated and went silent. I looked at the real Maho and she was responding exactly the same way.
教授、今のは。教授、今の発言はセクシャルハラスメントとして大学に訴えてもいいでしょうか。
Dr. Liskinen laughed cheerfully and responded to her. The conversation was in quick English, and over half the audience couldn't understand it. The real Maho sighed and took back the microphone.
教授はですね、私に対して、いえ、私の記憶で動作しているこのアマデウスに対して質問に答えてごらんと言いました。いつ頃までパパとお風呂に入っていたかとか。初恋はいつだったかとか何でも答えられるだろうと。
Okay, Liskinen.
もうそれ以上通訳しなくていいわ。恥ずかしいからやめてくれないかしら。私はそういう質問には一切答えないわよ。
The professor said something else, and the Maho on the screen groaned and turned away.
クレジットカードの番号なんてもっと言えません。
That's fine, you don't have to.
あと、1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色なんて覚えてるわけないです。
black and red checkerboard pants and a Dragon Ball Z shirt. What was this? It was so natural I couldn't tell at first, but this was something unbelievable, wasn't it? It felt very different than a typical AI. I could tell that much. It wasn't answering the questions it was given? And because they were embarrassing? Was it programmed to respond like that to certain questions for the purpose of this demonstration? It was possible that's all it was, but if that conversation wasn't programmed in advance, the rest of the crowd seemed to reach the same conclusion I did, and the whisper started to turn to surprise.
ねえちょっといい加減このいたずらな子供を何とかしてくれないかしら。何をしたいのか理解はできるけど、とにかく恥ずかしいわ。
The copy of Maho was complaining to the original. It felt like I was watching a pair of twin sisters talking.
いたずらな子供ではなく、レスキネン教授が面白がってなかなか説明してくれないので、代わりに私がお話しします。
Maho walked back to the professor.
皆さん、もうお分かりかと思いますが、アマデウスは自分が話していいこととそうでないこと、あるいは話したいことと話したくないことを自ら判断して喋っています。
Amadeus is alive!
私たちはアマデウスにそういったプログラムを一切施していません。
I knew it.
彼女は与えられた私の記憶からそれを独自に判断し、自律的にそういう行動をとっているのです。
The Maho on screen suddenly took over for her.
そしてこれは先ほどの医療分野への応用とは方向性が真逆になってしまい、研究所内でもずっと議論が交わされていることですが、私は不必要な情報をいつの間にか忘れてしまう。というか、記憶の引き出しから出してこられなくなるのです。皆さんと同じようにです。例えば、1週間前に着ていたパジャマの色、確かにそれを知っていたはずなのに、今は思い出せません。そのような情報は生存していく上で必要がないからです。これも皆さんと同じです。このようにアマデウスは記憶のインプットやアウトプットが人間のそれと非常に近いのです。これは私たちも驚くべき結果として研究を重ねている最中で、まだ詳しくは解明されていません。
As Maho finished up, Dr. Liskinen took the microphone back. She resumed interpreting as he continued the lecture.
However, what really surprised us
さらに
was that Amadeus
私たちを
intentionally
驚
lied.
かせたのは、アマデウスが意図して嘘をつくということ。
Really?
It has some sort of bug
何らかの
or
トラブルや
this
ミ
is
スではな
purposeful
く、
behavior.
わざとそうするのです。
Huh. Damn! That's actually impressive!
Lying is literally just
嘘は
another method of human
人間
communication.
が他人とコミュニケーションを取る上での一つの手法です。
Amadeus examined the memories
アマデウスも
entered and has no
インプット
compassion
された
about
記憶
lying
を
to
自
serve
律的に
itself
検
or
討し、
others if it
必
deemed
要であれ
the
ば
action necessary.
自分や他人のために平気で嘘をつきます。
Huh.
教授、誤解を招くような言い方はやめてください。嘘をつくのに平気なことなんてありません。私だって両親が咎めます。
I'm so sorry and
Dr. Liskinen cut off. Seemed to be hesitating. Maho didn't seem especially surprised by this. Maybe she knew the reason. But the moment passed and the professor continued. And Maho translated his words like there was nothing shocking about them at all.
this has led us to some
この
interesting
ような
conclusions.
検証を続けていくことで、最終的に私たちは
For one, we believe it's possible
ア
for
マデウス
Amadeus
に
to eventually
人
possess
間
a
と
mind
同様
conscious
の
of
魂を
identity.
宿すことができるのではないかと考えています。
True artificial intelligence, giving them a soul. I was stunned. A soul? Should one of the leading brain scientists in the world really be using a word with such a vague definition?
In other words, true
これこそ
artificial intelligence.
本当の意味での人工知能ということになります。
Damn. The whole hall got very quiet, and it was sheer chaos for a while after that, as everyone tried to debate their own personal theories with Dr. Liskinen at once. Damn. And that's where I'm going to end it. Jesus, this is so bizarre. I mean, the menu looks fantastic, but wow. Okay, I think we're off to a pretty good start. We got to meet Maho Hyojo, Maho, and Dr. Liskinen. Oh God, I forgot what his other name is. Oh, Alexis Liskinen. Okay. I swear, I think I'm pretty sure some people will probably point this out. But I don't know. Okay. We are off to a pretty good start on this, I think. One thing, the interface looks fantastic. Also, I got a freaking cell phone! But anyway, damn. This is honestly bizarre. I mean, I'm liking this, I really am. But, okay, actually, yeah, there's no but. I'm actually thoroughly enjoying this, and I can't wait to record more. Well, that felt like it was a pretty good start to this. And if you guys like this, be sure to let me know. Damn. Artificial intelligence, huh? I think I'm gonna like this Maho girl. Still prefer Moeka. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. I'm not entirely sure if it's gonna be despair-filled or not, but that the beginning of this, Jesus Christ.